Hey everybody, it's Chad, Nobody Else's Auto, 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for some live chat. Got a good group on YouTube ready to go tonight, and it looks like we are connecting on Facebook as well. As always, we are live on two formats, both YouTube and Facebook, as you see me glancing back and forth between monitors, keeping up with comments. Let's see who's here. Ryan and Amy are here ready to go. Our good friend Charles is on. Neil's here. Leo's back. Austin's on. Randall the Nut Farm is here. 73 Buick Man back again. Alex is on. Sam's here. On time this week. That's great, Sam. Fortunately, we didn't have any storm chasers here today. It was looking a little sketchy there for a while, but fortunately it stayed. Other than a ton of wind, it wasn't too bad. So Dad's on with us. So anyway, glad you guys are here and ready to go again tonight. Still surprises me you keep coming back, but you do, and that's what makes this such a great chat. Tweela D's here with us. But anyway, before we get too deep into things, as always, a little bit of housekeeping. Double W, Weston's here. Kevin L made it tonight. Autocorrect, please double check your autocorrect before you hit send. If I can't make out your comment, I will skip it and go on to the next one. I missed some comments, but I try to catch most of them. But if I can't make it out, then I just have to skip it. Brian, dispatch is on the way. Perfect. Glad you're here. That I did get that dropped off Friday as well, so it's on the way. You can definitely keep the snow up there, 73 Buick Man. Jim's here. Z-Bear. Where else would we be? I appreciate that, Neil. Glad you guys are here. Tony's on. Ken Rule and Dennis Chapman. Pete's here. Glad you guys are all back and ready to have a good time again tonight. Nobodies Show Facebook page. If you were on the Nobodies Show Facebook page, this is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. If you just want to watch and hang out, you're perfectly fine there. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions, you will need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. Those are the only two sets of comments that I can see. So if you just want to hang out and watch, you're perfectly fine there. Bill Disk made it. Kevin Brown is here. Trolls, occasionally we do get a troll on here. You guys do a great job of making sure they know they're not welcome. I ignore them because they're trying to get my attention and screw up our chat. So I ignore them. You guys do a great job of that for me. I appreciate that. Big Job made it. And super chats are always great. We are fighting ads now. YouTube is pumping ads into the middle of lives. Unfortunately, that is out of our control. It used to warn me. It used to let me skip some of them, but it took all that away from me as well. So you guys just let me know when we see ads, especially if we're during the auction where we need to shut things down for a second. Sam's here with us on Facebook. Kevin says up to 2 feet of snow in South Dakota. Definitely keep all of that. I do not want any of that down here. So throw a share out there. Let your friends know that we are on and ready to go. And we'll start chatting away and seeing what everybody has to say tonight. Got some cool things to talk about. Once again, planning on an abbreviated auction tonight, unless you guys demand more, which you have done in the past. Mark P is here with us on Facebook, and I'm glad you put Mark P because I don't think I could. It would take me a second to try to make out your last name, but I'm glad you're here. Numero uno, number 1, is here and ready to go tonight. Jeff from Ottawa's on. So anyway, we'll go ahead and start working our way into tonight's chat. Like I said, I've got a ton of stuff in here to sell, but planning on a larger auction next week with the raffle giveaway. So we'll see how that goes. But lots of things going on, lots of things to talk about. So anyway, Joe's here with us. Alan's back. So I guess we'll start off with finishing up a little bit of what we talked about last week. Oh, actually, one other thing before we get into this stuff: addresses, guys. I've got some things hanging here that we need to address. Was wondering if there'd be an Easter edition. Yeah. Scott's here with us on Facebook. Ken from Michigan. Adam Briggs, got your payment, no address. Daniel Ushin, don't have your name down. I'm sure you're using a different user ID, but I don't know what that is. So please, guys, if you can get that information to me, I can get this stuff on the way. I had a couple of payments I just refunded the other day because we never heard back from them, and I didn't want to keep anybody's money when I couldn't ship them anything. Lance Smith's here with us on Facebook. So put bunny ears on the cats. Yes, I'm sure they would be absolutely thrilled if we did that. So please, guys, try to simplify this as much as possible as you can for me. If you're using a different user ID, please note that so I can cross-reference my auction list. You know, you got to remember we're doing 10, 15, 20 things every night on here, plus eBay sales, plus Craigslist sales, plus people that call off YouTube. I've got payments coming in from multiple different directions and parts going out every different direction all over the country every week. You know, and sometimes it's 2 or 3 dozen boxes a week. So please, if you guys can help me out with that type of stuff and keep things clear on your end, then I can grab it, get it in a box, get it packaged, and get it out of here. It just slows the entire process up when I'm sitting here trying to dig some of that information out. So let's see. What else is going on? Charles Wickham is here with us. Dawn from Canada is on. All it printed out, Adam, was just the payment. It just says the payment. The note says license plates is all the note says. So that's all I've got on there. It says note 4 license plates and your name. That's all I've got on there. So yeah, if you can get that to me, we can get that on the way. And that's right, Pete. As always, welcome to all the new members, the people that haven't stopped by before. You're going to stop by and check out what we've got going on. We're glad you're here. That's how this group builds and grows, because the more people we have, that means we have that much more knowledge in the chat to help each other out, to where we can all learn and grow. So anyway, just wanted to hit that address thing. 73 Buick Man says hit the like button. Appreciate that too. Something I started doing this week. I know a lot of you caught it. Don't know much about it. Still playing with it on YouTube. I did my first short on Friday. And then we did another one Saturday. So I'm playing with shorts. I don't know much about it. I know some of you guys have asked if I was going to be doing them, and I knew it was something I needed to do. I just had not sat down and did it. So put the first one up Friday morning. It did, I thought, pretty well for me, being a tiny channel. And we'll keep doing them and see what you guys think. If you've got ideas, if you guys have ideas you think I should be doing them, different ideas, different things you want to see on shorts, let me know. We'll try to work it in. Nick liked the short. Great. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate that. Nut Farm liked it. Good. Perfect. GOB. Glad that you guys all enjoyed what we did, because like I said, I'm trying. That's about all I can tell you is I'm trying. So we'll get one of these up there for you, number one, since you brought that up. It's time for a chug. There we go. The clarity of the short video was amazing. Well, great. Thanks, Kevin L. So obviously we did the one where I went and got that 71 Camaro, which actually I shot like 6 weeks ago. It's just been sitting on my phone ready to post. The shorts should be longer. My shorts are typically right around 50 seconds, and you can only, in 60 seconds is the max. So I try to cram as much as I can in that 45 to 55 second window to keep it in the allotted time for a quote unquote short. Rusty Oakie's back. So that's I'm playing with them, and like I said, ideas, thoughts, I'm open, because there again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to think of stuff that might look cool and throwing them up there. That first one I did had 4,500. I thought that was really good. And then we did one yesterday morning. My buddy Alan from Big Al's Garage was over here working on the Viper, so we threw that up. We did get the Viper to fire, but in fact, it fired up immediately. But there's something wrong in the clutch. It had a squeaking noise coming out of the clutch, and I don't have a lot of clutch pedal. So I think there's something stuck in the clutch, probably just from sitting. So we got to play with that a little bit, try to bleed the clutch out, or try to bleed the slave cylinder, get a little more pressure, and see if we can figure out what's hanging up in the clutch. But the car fired up immediately as soon as we got her back together and got a battery in it. So playing with the short thing, we'll see how it works, see what happens, but we'll give it a shot. And for the guys on YouTube, I will try to maybe throw some of those up as some reels as well. Just trying to get the YouTube thing figured out on the shorts first. So is the Camaro in the yard? Says, yeah, that I did that short like 6 weeks ago when I pulled the car out. So yeah, it's been here for a while. I just haven't gotten the video finished on it yet. I've got clips, walk around clip of it in that little building and things like that. I just got to get it finished up. I just haven't had time to do that one. So Clutch is actually a pretty decent band. I will agree with that, Sam. Yeah, I actually, and that's obviously the next goal, Randall. 20,000 subs. Mike doesn't watch any shorts. Well, I don't watch shorts either, but a lot of people do, so that's why I'm doing them. That's right. Nut Farm, like Nut Farm mentioned, headed to 20,000 subs. Really excited about that. Something, I mean, always every big goal on YouTube is a big step, especially for a little guy like me. So it's pretty exciting that that 20,000 subscribers is literally on the horizon at this point. So hopefully that keeps growing. Invite your friends over, tell them about it, share the videos on your Facebook page or wherever, and let people know what we're doing. Let's see if we can push this thing up to 20,000 subs. To me, that's crazy, but I really appreciate all your guys' help and support in getting there. Auburn badge. Talked to my t-shirt guy the other day. Going to email him some pictures of some new ideas for a new t-shirt. So I don't know if we'll have those by the gathering, but I'm going to try, but I'm not going to guarantee it. It just depends on how busy he is. This guy is one of the best in the country for automotive shirts. So this time of the year, getting towards car show season, things like that, he gets pretty busy. So we'll see if that works out where we will have those by the gathering weekend, but I wouldn't promise that. But if you do not have this shirt, now I will probably still leave the Nobody on it just because that's funny. But if you do not have this shirt, I have 20 or 30 left, but they are getting thin. Some sizes I am out of, like large, extra large, and maybe 2X I think I'm okay on because I reordered a batch of those a while back, and that's the majority of what I've got left is that reorder. So if you don't have this shirt and you want to get one, now's the time. So we'll see how those come out, and I'm excited to see what he comes up with because, like I said, this guy I think he's probably the best in the country. So Neil's got his. That's right, Neil. Anyway, Pioneer Village, a little bit of follow-up. 22 and 24, I think, shipped. So if you want to pick them up when you're here, it'd be a few bucks less than that. So Reno wants an XL. Sounds great. The information is in the description. Even on Facebook on that video, my mailing information to mail checks, the PayPal information, the pricing, and everything is in the description part of this video, both on Facebook and YouTube. Pioneer Village. As you guys know, we went up there a week and a half ago. We shot a lot of content. We put the first video up from there last week with the gentleman from the 610 Cruisers Car Club that works with Pioneer Village on their car show coming up in August. So they, that was a cool video. We checked out that Ford Ranch wagon. He was a Ford fan, so that was the car that he picked out to talk about their car show. Another 6 or 7 videos in the can from Pioneer Village. We did receive this week. Wanted to share this with you. I think the signs are finished up. I will show you a sample of them, and we will have them worked into the video. However, here is the letter that we received from Willis Garza, the director of Pioneer Village. Thanks to all of you guys for the donations. That's right, Austin. Yeah. Wait, there's a lot there. There is no doubt about it. But this says our greatest thanks to you for your sponsorship of the 6 Adopt-A-Car projects. You'll soon be receiving the copies of the plaques for the cars we've chosen. They love our enthusiasm for what we do there and look forward to continuous collaboration. Willis Garza, director of the museum. Billy Bowman's here. Pretty cool. They do a nice job on these, and he sent me a picture of one he was working on. Now, we did 4 cars under the Nobodies of Nobody Else's of the Nobody Show YouTube channel. Leo did one for his dad, and Randall with the Nut Farm chose to do one for his folks. So here's just a screenshot of what will be sitting with each one of those cars. This is a screenshot off the computer. So picture this on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, in a nice little frame displayed with the vehicle. That's what it looks like that will be on these vehicles for the next year. Now, if you guys choose to, at the end of this year, donate again, whatever money we raise, we'll go back to them for continued sponsorships. If we raise more, we'll do more cars. Like I said, we did 4 between the Nobodies of Nobody Show, and then the one for Leo's dad and the one for Randall with the Nut Farm and his folks. But that's just a quick example of what this will look like in a little frame on an 8.5 by 11, sitting in front of the particular vehicles that we sponsored. And then we got a sea of hearts going, so that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are excited about this. It's like a river of hearts flowing. And this is not because of me. This is because of you guys. This was your money that sponsored this, your money that is helping the museum. It was my time to go up and do it, but the fact that you guys were willing to step up and do that for them is awesome. And any of you guys that want to go, that's going to be there. So I just, like I said, we saw Austin there that day. I know Kevin L's been there. There's no way to describe it without seeing it. We've got 20 some videos on the Pioneer Village playlist on the channel, but to do it justice, it's just going to take some time. Once the hotel is opened, and this has been brought up multiple times, once the hotel is opened, hopefully later this year. Now, whether this happens later this year or maybe next year, there's a very distinct possibility that we do a remote gathering of the Nobodies at Pioneer Village. So that's also a possibility. To maybe allow you guys to come in and see the collection. It's amazing. We'll raise enough money to do a 50-50 split for the Gorillas in Pioneer Village and get the cars for another year before summer. That's a great idea, number one. We can start on it now. And if you guys want to keep doing that, we'll start. I just keep that packet in a separate file of what you're donating. And, a couple bucks here and a couple bucks there. Just like number one said, we start on it now. By the time we get there, the end of the year, we're going to have at least enough money to maintain these 4 sponsorships, if not do some more. There is no casino at Pioneer Village, number one. They do not have a casino. So, okay, Adam, what email did you send that to so that I know where to look? So I'm going to put a note on here of what email that is going to so I know where to look. Not yet is the correct answer. Okay, I was mistaken, number one. Not yet should have been the correct answer. But that's like I said, obviously that place has a special place. And to me, my folks took me there as a kid. Addie's been there multiple times. And it's an amazing collection with over 300 vehicles. It's pretty impressive. So, okay, the Gmail account. One of the Gmail. Okay, the auto Gmail, not the show Gmail. Okay. Thanks, Adam. I will check that tomorrow morning to get that stuff shipped. Good point, number one. If they let you in, it is a gamble. That could be true. So, round up the bids for Pioneer Village. That's right, Randall. That's a great idea. And I'm glad you brought that up, number one. That is a good idea to be thinking ahead now. So at the end of the year that, $2, $3, $5 every week for the rest of the year. And it's all done at the end of the year. We can get them another check first of next year. But something else, just like number one mentioned, as far as supporting the Gorillas, Pittsburgh State University, my alma mater, where I got my auto tech degree, where they have a very unique program where you can get a 2-year or a 4-year degree. I've got a bachelor's degree in automotive technology with emphasis in service management and a minor in business administration. I've got an actual regular degree with a technical side to it. Doing a lot of work with Pittsburgh State as well. I have another meeting tomorrow morning with the president of the university on a Zoom on some stuff we're working on there. There is some big news coming out this week. Should be this week. Most of it should be out this week. It may be a couple weeks for all of it, but some big news coming out about the Pittsburgh State Auto Tech programs. So looking forward to that. And it's going to be exciting stuff. So like I said, I got a Zoom meeting tomorrow on some of this stuff, and lots of exciting things happening there as well. And, something else I really don't have time to do, but obviously, Pittsburgh State was pretty good to me, and this is a little way that I can give back to them. So, and it's kind of odd because the auto tech instructor that is really a big part of that, I'm working with very closely on all these Pitt State projects. He was actually my advisor. He was the first person I met when I set foot on campus almost 30 years ago. So pretty cool to still be working with him and being able to give back a little bit with what I can help them with. Everybody's probably ready for a Hudson badge, ain't you? So we'll keep you posted. When I get Balin wire made it. When I get the rest, I've got some more work to do on some of those videos. I've got some of the Pioneer Village videos up. We'll probably pop another one up this week, and we'll get some more cool stuff coming up here in the near future. I got tons of new inventory to share with you. Just a lot of things in the can, and a lot of things happening that, but we definitely got some more cool stuff coming. Anyway, we are a month out from the gathering of the Nobodies, basically. 4 weeks away to the weekend of April 20th. Lots of different ideas being thrown around. I've been talking to Pete, been talking to Rico. Both those guys are kind of helping me get things ready and are going to be helping out that day, or actually the whole weekend of the event. Martin from Tucson's here. So, real quickly, here's kind of where things are at this point. Obviously, the hotel information has been out there for several weeks. Depending on what your guys' schedule is, you can get rooms for both nights, for Friday and Saturday. Some of you local guys, if you want to come in Saturday morning, if you're in, not too far away, if you want to stay Saturday night, just get a room for Saturday night. If you just want to come in for the day, I perfectly understand that. A lot of different things that I think are going to be fun. I'm going to throw a lot of this stuff at you guys, and then you guys let me know what you think. First off, on Friday, I've been talking to my buddy that owns the brewery. I've been getting some information from him. And on that Friday, the 19th, the brewery will open at 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. I probably will not be there at 3. Rico is planning on being here a little bit earlier on Friday to kind of help me set some things up. Pete should be here mid-afternoon, he thought. So I doubt that we are going to be there at 3. We will probably be getting a few loose ends tied up at the yard. Austin's planning on coming for the whole weekend. Great. That'll be awesome. So any of you guys that get to town, that's right, number one. No, actually, these guys actually have regular jobs too. So they have staff that has to run this. They're not open all week. They're only open like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, but yeah, I get your point. So if any of you guys get to town noon, 1, 2 o'clock on Friday, the brewery will open at 3. They do have a kind of a party room off to one corner of the main lobby area that will be reserved for us that night. So if you show up and you want to get down to the brewery, just head on down. How many hours from Kansas City? I'm 3 hours from the racetrack. I'm 3 hours from the Speedway on the west side. So depending on where you're at, you just kind of got to go from there. Looks like we got a few ads popping up too. I usually stay, when we come up from Meekum, I stay at I-35 and 95th. That's 3.5 hours. Close for Mass is a great name for the gasser we're going to build. So 3 o'clock on Friday, they will be open. Like I said, I doubt we're there at 3, but I would think that we would be there hopefully by 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that. Friday evening, the food truck at the brewery will be Tacos del Sol. I believe they do have a Facebook page. You can look them up, maybe a website. There is also Gambino's Pizza right next to the brewery. The brewery does not serve food, so you can bring any food you want in. You can go get a pizza next door, get from the food truck, whatever. And also, if the parking lot is behind the brewery and on the north, there on the east side of the parking lot, on the north side of the parking lot is Lumpy Sports Bar. So if you wanted to go get a burger, or if a group of people want to go get a burger, we can always run over to Lumpy's and get a burger as well. So that is all right down there, all within a half block, all at the same location for Friday evening. I've also got a friend, one of our county commissioners, who has offered to whip up a batch of appetizers for us that night as well. So we may have some munchies there. Beer, tacos, and pizza. Neil's never going to leave. The casino, there's no casino here yet either. So anyway, yeah, beer, tacos, pizza, and burgers, and it's all within 30 yards of each other. So yeah, we'll be definitely be doing some filming. We'll be doing some live. We'll do some shorts. We'll throw all kinds of stuff up that weekend, starting on that Friday. So that will be Friday. As Saturday morning, I'm going to tell everybody to plan on being at the yard around 9. Reason being, I'm going to have to get out there, get buildings opened up, get the silent auction tables set up, and things like that. So I'll plan on being out there early, but sometime around 9-ish is when I would plan on probably kicking things off. I'm still working on getting a food truck out to the yard for lunch on Saturday. I talked to one yesterday, and they were interested in doing it, but they're out of town that day. So at this point, I'm still going to try to find a food truck that will run out to the yard from, roughly 11 to 1 on Saturday. Now, what's going to happen that day? Obviously, we're going to walk around, check out cars, and take pictures if there's any parts you're interested in. There is stuff everywhere that I would probably sell. If you see something you're interested in, just don't ever hesitate to ask. Some stuff isn't for sale, but a lot of it will be. I've got a lot of stuff out there that has just been sitting there that I'm probably going to throw price tags on. Bigger stuff that would be a pain in the butt to ship. So please bear this in mind if you're interested in some of this stuff. Gas pumps, Coke machines, medium-sized signs that would be kind of a pain to ship. All kinds of stuff. There's literature out there. There's all kinds of stuff that, that I'm going to be throwing price tags on, and some stuff. You see something, holler at me. If I don't have a price tag on, it still may be something for sale. So bring lots of money. That'd be a great plan. Bring lots of money. So we're going to have some cool stuff that, that it would be a pain in the butt to ship, but we could sure put in the back of somebody's pickup, or some stuff even in the trunk of a car if you plan on driving a car. And Pappy made it tonight. So bear that in mind for that day. Now, what else is going to happen? Obviously, we're going to have a silent auction table set up. I'd like to have 8, 10, 12, 15 things on the silent auction table where you can just walk by and write your bid on stuff. We're also going to do some giveaways. Bring items for sale, trade, or donations. That's right. Absolutely. I take trade-ins all the time. So that's another, and I hadn't even thought about it. I'm glad you brought that up, number one. I trade for stuff all the time. And auction some, maybe we can auction stuff for the new Pianilla's kitty. It took me a second to put those two together. I seen where you were going, number one. I just had to put it together. So we'll be doing the giveaways. Here's what I think we're going to do on giveaways. Like I told you guys, there's going to be some door prizes, but I think I want to do a raffle as well. Now, the door prize situation, here's what we've been talking about. And Pete said, basically, Pete's making name tags, which is why this is so critical to be signed up ahead of time. Pete's going to make name tags and have the slip for the door prize drawing in, ready. So when you get your name tag, you'll get your slip for the door prize drawing. The raffle side of that, I'm going to have work together with it. So I think what we'll do is we'll have one can with everybody that is there is going to have a name in that can for the raffle drawing, for the door prize drawing. Then we're going to have another can, and we'll just sell numbered tickets, just like you buy at the carnival, where you tear one off, one goes in the can, you get one, and then those will be strictly on numbers. What I think we'll do is we'll have like 10 things laid out on a table. And the door prize winners will draw 5 of those, and then then you get to pick off that table as we go. That's it'd be kind of tough if they all said nobody, Neil. So I think Pete wants to actually put your names on them so we can identify each other. That is a good point, though. Hadn't thought about that. So then we'll start pulling the raffle tickets out, and then just as we go through the raffle tickets, you get to pick off that table. So probably do about 10 pieces like that. Probably 5 will just be regular door prizes, and then 5 raffle prizes, but all work off the same table. In theory, we'll see how this all sets up. I'm just throwing at you guys what I'm thinking in my brain. So what kind of stuff is going to be on there? Well, what I'm thinking is obviously we'll have like some license plate stuff. Maybe a box with like 3 or 4 old plates. Maybe a box with like, 3 or 4 consecutive number plates. Boxes that may have 2, 3, 4 oil cans in them. Things like that. A couple of signs. Some things like that. So, and in fact, I've got a couple things I want to share with you right now that are going to be on this table. So if you guys want to see a sneak peek, I'll show you a couple of the pieces that will be on that table that day. So that's what I'm thinking on that. We'll probably do those drawings, mid-afternoon. Obviously, you need to be there to win. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And there again, if I throw something out there that you guys absolutely hate, let me know. Then sometime a little bit later in the day, we'll come into town and we'll look at the good cars in the shop next door here. So I'm sure you guys probably want to see the more ads for Big Job. I'm sure you guys want to see the good cars, and some of you may want to see right where we're at right now. Some of you guys may want to check out where we do this at. And I'm going to have to put a couple of more screws in Heather's picture. I've just got some kind of wedged in there. I'm going to have to like screw that frame to the wall, I think, if you guys want to come in here and check this out, or we may not have Heather anymore. So Saturday, later on that day, at the brewery. I assume we'll probably just go back and hang out at the brewery. It's close. It's not very far away from the shops in town. It's convenient. Saturday night, they have Flatlanders stone-fired flatbread pizza, and it is excellent. I love it. I eat it a couple times a month whenever they're set up. So that is the food truck that will be there Saturday night. And of course, Gambino's and Lumpy's is still down there as well. So that's kind of the Saturday night type thing. Take a brown Sharpie and sign your name on the wood paneling seams. There you go. Auburn. And then, so that will be Saturday evening. And then I've got one more idea that I've been thinking about, rolling around the back of my head. Sunday morning, obviously everybody's going to be ready to get headed out, want to hit the road. I thought about, well, maybe we, whoever wanted to, maybe we could catch breakfast. And I thought, well, then that's going to be a pain if guys want to get going and, actually picking a place to go meet, sit down, blah, blah, blah. So I came up with another idea, and I'll see what you guys think about this. We'll just come down to the shops that Sunday morning, start around 7:30-ish or so, and we'll just whip up some big batch of eggs on the Blackstone and throw some sausage patties on the regular grill. We'll set up a couple of tables in the shop next door. We'll put out some paper plates, a couple gallons of orange juice, and Sunday morning, as you guys get ready to leave town, please swing by, grab a sausage patty, grab a bite to eat, and before you guys hit the road. And that way it could be kind of informal, and just grab something and keep rolling, and make it real simple and easy that way. So that's kind of what we're thinking about, is kind of to kind of put an exclamation point on the weekend, is wrapping things up that Sunday morning with just a quick stop by, come and go, grab a bite deal on the way out of town on Sunday morning. So, yeah, I know that's what I'm worried about. Heather would be MIA, so or missing in a nobody shirt. Yeah, both of them would be missing. Bill Dick says, sounds great. Looking forward to it. Sounds great. Kevin L. So that's in a nutshell. Now that none of that is set in stone. There's still some things that could get tweaked. I've still got to try to find a food truck for that Saturday afternoon. Bush latte for breakfast. Tractor Mike, that's probably what he'll be doing. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what I've got in the back of my brain. Comments, feedback, always welcome. But that's a loose interpretation of what I think that weekend will be. But we're still a month out, so that is subject to change. Sausage between two pancakes. There you go, Gorilla Biscuits. Yep, that's true, Matt. So, Tim B., the Gathering of the Nobodies, April 20th. So, lots of people coming in. Pete's email address, one more time, if you want to get signed up and get on the email thread. There is Pete's email address. Pete is helping organize all this. So, if you want more information, get on there. Let him know whether you are definitely confirmed or just a maybe or a no, because we're trying to keep this thing organized. Pete's trying to get a lot of this stuff done, the name tags, the auction sheets. He's volunteered to do all that. So your guys' help of planning ahead and letting us know for sure whether you're in or not is going to make things a lot easier on us. It has escalated quickly, number one. It really has. And that's because of you guys and your interest and your willingness to participate, just like you do in this chat every weekend. That's what's making it happen. Dirty's here. So if you're planning on coming out, please email Pete. I got a whole bunch of boxes started out there for you guys that are coming in to pick up. A lot of auction winnings. Here's what I'm doing, just so you guys know. Over there under the old 78 F250, I've got a whole row of boxes with your guys' names on them that are planning on picking up at the auction. So all of these are getting filled up with auction wins. As you pay for stuff, I am marking the pieces paid, putting them in the box so they will be ready to go when you get here on April 20th. All right. Time to keep moving. Lots of things to talk about there, so we're just trying to get things organized and want to make sure we do this right is kind of what it amounts to. Hudson Badge. Yes, Austin, I did get your payment. Yep. Moving on, new inventory. Had some stuff come in earlier this week. Yeah, I'm sure we'll do another one, Tim. I don't know, and that's something else I'm thinking about. We'll see how this goes this time. The two options that I can think of, X-rays here. The two options I can think about if this goes well is do a fall one to allow more people to come, because we can't have 100 people come in. It wouldn't be manageable. If this goes extremely well, we could possibly do a fall one, but I say realistically, it will probably be next spring. We will do another one, but a fall one wouldn't be completely off the table either, just to allow more people to come and be part of it, depending on schedules. So that's kind of, we'll see how this one goes here in 4 weeks, but based on the support and interest we've had in this one, I can definitely see another one happening. Like I said, it just depends on whether we decided to do a fall version of it as well, or we just decided to wait till next spring. Another comment, Frank, about the new Great Bend will be the new Carlisle. There's been several comments about comparing it to Carlisle and Hershey and things like that, and which is great. It's cool. I think you guys are being a little optimistic, but it is cool that you guys are thinking big like that. So But if nothing else, it's going to be great to put some faces to names and things like that. And a lot of you guys I have met in person, at swap meets and things like that. Some of you have stopped by as you're coming through town. But I know most of you guys have never met each other in person, so that's going to be awesome to have that kind of group here and be able to do that. So, new inventory. Had a couple of bigger Chevy trucks come in last week, 149 and 153, both ton and a halves. So those both came in last Sunday or Monday. That's right, Dirty. Every idea starts small. Balin Wire likes the breakfast idea. Good. Like I said, I want to do this right. I want you guys to feel welcome, and I want you guys to enjoy it and enjoy each other's company, and hopefully buy some cool stuff so I can to pay for this stuff. But there's a rumor that I'm starting, says number one, Christmas at Nobodies, and you can park a camper or trailer on site, but you have to bring toys and food for the food bank. Stuff the plane. There you go. And we had some other stuff come in this week. I didn't have it come in. It came into my place, but it's not mine. And it's not going to take you guys long to figure this out, but we had two Massey Harris 44s come in, a John Deere 70, and some other earlier John Deere. I'm not sure what the earlier one is, what model it was. So those came in this week as well. Now, it probably isn't going to take a rocket scientist for you guys to figure out who owns those tractors, but yeah, that's the plan, X-Ray. I'm hoping everybody buys a lot. I hope everybody buys a bunch of stuff. But those all came in this week as well. On the farm picking deal a couple weeks ago, those tractors were there. Sent pictures to Mike, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take them." He sent a check for them, and the guy that does some hauling for me picked them up, and we unloaded those at the yard too. So I had some trucks come in. Tractor Mike had some tractors come in, and that's what hit the ground this week. So we will be getting some content up on the trucks for sure. We'll do we may do the tractors too. What the heck? I don't know. If nothing else, we'll do them when Tractor Mike's here. Weston does not like the 44s, but he likes the 70. The 70's actually got a factory front end loader on it too. So we'll be bringing you some content on those. The 44s just kind of came with the John Deere's as a package deal. So. All right. Kenny made it. On to the promo. We're going to catch a promo. We're going to catch some badges and emblems, and then we're going to do story time. Then we're going to talk about the raffle, and then we're going to do some auction stuff. So let's get tonight's promo. This is one that we haven't seen before. I actually went and stole some out of Dad's case here the other day to check out a few out of his collection. So this is one off of Dad's shelf on this 1954 Ford. Black and white, two-tone, white body, black roof. Very basic promo. Oh, raffle items. Thanks for bringing that up, Austin. I'll catch that in just a second. Remind me when we wrap up the promo. We talked about that. We kept rolling, and I forgot to grab them. They're over here behind the desk, so no big deal. Inside, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. It does have, there's no windows. I don't know whether it's supposed to have them or not, but it has no windows, nothing inside of it. Now, the body is fairly detailed. A lot of the trim is all cast into it. The grill and everything is all there. All the lights are there. The hood ornament's cast into it. Around back, it's got the taillights in it. It's got the trunk ornament and everything cast into it as well. It is a friction. A metal base with a friction drive. It is an AMT piece, AMT Inc., Birmingham, Michigan, and really in pretty decent shape considering it's a 70-year-old promo. 54 would have been Y block. 53 Merc was a flathead. 53 Ford may have even been Y block, I think, in 53 car. So, yeah, lots of great comments on the promo. It is a pretty nice one. It is in pretty good shape. It's got a few scuffs and scratches, but I mean, it's 70 years old. So, I mean, I'm sure when I'm 70 years old, I'll probably have a few scuffs and scratches too. Does have all original tires, wheels, and hubcaps, even though there's not much to them. There are pretty basic and plain. But it is kind of a neat piece. Corners aren't chipped up front. It's still in pretty good condition considering it's 70 years old. Who's in for the week for the raffle? Well, you are, Tweedly D. I know that, but we'll get to that here in just a minute. So that's what we have for tonight's promo, the 1954 Ford Friction Sedan. You must be getting more ads than anybody, Big Job. You must have made the YouTube gods mad or something. I don't know. Okay. Before we get into badges and emblems, Austin wants to see a couple of the raffle prizes for door/raffle prizes for the Gathering of the Nobodies. So let's show you a couple of those pieces. Now, like I said, I'm going to have some cool stuff in lots of cans, license plates, and things like that. But there's also some cool stuff. And I'll share a little bit of that with you. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll put some of these groups together, and we'll check them out as we get closer to that day. The first sign, it's a little bit rough. It's banged up a little bit. I haven't cleaned it yet. I think some of it will clean up. But it is a porcelain pump plate for a mobile gas pump. Obviously, the Pegasus is whammoed. I haven't washed this yet. I think it will clean up, but this is an original single-sided porcelain mobile pump plate. So that one will be on the table. Another one that will be on the table that day on April 20th is this Delco battery sign. You say this isn't that old. Well, it's probably 90s, so it's probably 30 or 35 years old at this point. Still in great condition. It is single-sided on the Delco battery sign. So there's a couple of pieces that are going to be on the door prize / raffle table. And that's something else, Alan. Dad made the same comment. On the smart TV, he's not getting as many ads. So anyhow, those signs are going to be on that table. As long as, like I said, I'll keep working on that stuff. We'll share a couple things with you for that door prize / raffle table coming up. So 90s, like 8 years ago. Exactly, Dirty. I know exactly what you're saying on that. Badges and emblems tonight. A couple of interesting things, a couple of cool pieces. We'll start off with something a little bit earlier. We're going to start off with a grease cap, since we're working some caps and things in here too. Randy's here. Just got back from the Volkswagen swap meet. Bought more than it sold. I know the feeling. So we're going to get into badges and emblems. We're going to do some story time. And we're going to talk about the raffle, all coming up here shortly. Oh, not logged in on TV. Okay, that would make sense. So we're going to start off with something kind of different as we get into the badges and emblems. This is a really cool old grease cap from a kind of a different company. So I'm going to read you a little bit about this company, and then we're going to check this piece out. The company that we're going to talk about was not in business for an extremely long period of time, a little over 20 years. One of those manufacturers from back in the teens and the 20s, back when there were 2,500 different car manufacturers in the United States. What we're going to talk about right now is the Moon. Joseph Moon was, and there again, I'm back to the awesome website, AmericanAutoEmblems.com, for information on this because it's great. I love it. You guys need to check it out if you have not. But Joseph Moon was already in the carriage business when he set up his Joseph Moon Buggy Company in St. Louis in 1892. He took an interest in automobiles, and his first motor car, a 30 to 35 horse, 4-cylinder, 5-passenger touring model, appeared in late 1905 and was shown at the New York Automobile Show in January of 1906. Joseph Moon was using the Moon Motor Car Company name in 1906, but did not incorporate the new company until 1907. In 1908, Moon cars were sold in New York by the whole tan dealership, but were advertised as a whole tan. The first Moon cars were expensive, but lower priced models were introduced in 1910. Production in 1906 was about 45 units and grew year by year, and is reported in the standard catalog as having reached a production of 1,540 units in 1913. The first six-cylinder Moon arrived in 1913, and from 1916, all Moon cars were offered with six-cylinder models until 1928, when an eight-cylinder model was introduced. The Joseph W. Moon Buggy Company continued to build buggies through 1916, but also produced a range of Moon trucks on a separate chassis from the Moon passenger cars from 1912. The Model A was a half-ton truck. The Model B was a 1.5-ton truck, mostly sold as a chassis with a custom body made to order. Enclosed van and other bodies were also available, including a bus. Commercial vehicle production stopped in 1916 when the company failed to get a government contract for ambulances. The Moon passenger car had a new handsome appearance in 1919, including a Rolls-Royce-style radiator. Joseph Moon died in that year in 1919, and his son-in-law Stuart McDonald took over the company. The best years for the Moon Motor Car Company production were 1924 and 1925, when annual production rose to over 7,500 units, including the straight-eight powered Diana, which ceased production in 1928 following serious technical problems. A totally new body style called the Aero Type, designed by Dutch Darren, was introduced for the 1928 model year, but the Moon was in trouble and production numbers fell to less than 3,000 in 1928. The Moon name was dropped in 1929, and in January that year, a new straight-eight automobile called the Windsor was introduced. In June 1930, Moon began to build the Ruxton car alongside the Windsor, and a disastrous deal with New Era Motors, which put Moon into receivership by November of 1930. So, talking about the Moon, we've got a really cool grease cap, and this is a little bit different than most of the grease caps we look at, because most of these grease caps are aluminum with the name cast into them. This particular Moon actually has a Moon badge that has been riveted into the aluminum grease cap. So something kind of different. A separate piece, clearly says Moon. This one is whammoed pretty good right here on this side, but we can still see the Moon emblem clearly. It is kind of a deeper dish one than more than what we're used to. As always, internal threads, but on the inside of this one, we don't see anything stamped into it other than the two small little rivets sticking back through there that hold the Moon cap on. No, Alex, I don't think I've got two of these. I'll do some looking, but I don't think I do. It is definitely an interesting piece, and it is kind of different. But that's why I kind of wanted to get a little bit of information and history about this one as we discussed it, to add a little bit more to it, because this is a cool piece. There is a Moon at Pioneer Village. So if you want to see a Moon, I do know that they have a Moon at Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska. So if we get up there, you guys will actually be able to see a Moon in person if you haven't seen one. Joe has the Moon wrench that takes it off. That's cool, Joe. So I'm sure they had a custom wrench for this. Probably says Moon right on the wrench. That sounds like a cool piece, Joe. Moon eyes. Yep, that's well before Moon eyes for sure. So there it is for the first piece tonight, the Moon grease cap from the Moon Automobile Company. Zach from Whiskey Business is here. The next piece we're going to have tonight, moving up a few decades as usual. This is kind of an attractive piece. I thought this was pretty neat. This is off of a Chevrolet, and it's off of one of the most popular dashes out there. One of the most common things to do on a custom is to swap in a 1959-1960 era Chevy dash. One thing they don't use sometimes if they're not putting it in a Chevy, or especially if they're not putting in a specific model, are the emblems off the passenger side. This particular one happens to be off of a 1960 Chevrolet Impala. These are a pretty attractive piece. This would have been black in the background where the Impala letters in the line would have stood out. It does have a slight curvature to it because it had to fit in that dish part of the dash. The Impala is stamped into the aluminum. It is an aluminum piece. You can see right there how that's all stamped into that. And it just does have that little bow in it to fit the curve of the dash. Sounds like everybody needs this. So it is a pretty unique piece. 59 is slightly different. It's the same dash, but they did slightly change this emblem where it does not have a smooth finish. It has kind of a, I don't know how you put it, like a checkered pattern on these sides, on each side of the emblem. But it is a pretty attractive piece. I thought about redoing the black, but I just didn't have time to sit down and repaint the black background. If you repainted the black background of this and the Impala popped on it, polished the Impala letters up, this thing would look really cool. It is about 14 3/8 inches long, tip to tip. So it is a decent sized piece, and it's definitely a very cool piece. And when you're sitting in that 60 Impala, you looked right out and saw that. So it definitely made it stand out. Rusty Okie was my favorite car at Pioneer Village. There are too many of them. There are so many cool cars there. It would be literally impossible to pick one single favorite one. Obviously, as you guys all know, I'm a huge fan of Cords. They have both an L29 and an 812 there. The history there with the earliest Ford known to exist and the second earliest Cadillac known to exist. They have history there that you can't even see in Detroit. So it depends on if you look at design and style or are you looking at historical significance. There's just so many different things there. It would be impossible. So there's not any way to answer that. So is that Zach's bidding 30 on this already? We ain't even got to the auction yet. Is that what you're saying, Zach? You're 30 on the Impala emblem? Because I'm thinking about selling it. So just so you guys know, that's why I'm wondering if that 30 is the real deal. So, Zach is bidding. You guys want to sell this one? That's true. Stuff looks so much the same today with the history and the designs and the stuff that's there. It's impossible. Sell. All right. So are we going to auction this thing right now, or are we going to wait till the auction? So favorite make that is not in business anymore. There again, there is so many cars there that aren't in business. That's almost impossible. We're going to put this on the timer. I got to get my notepad out here. We're going to go 2 minutes. Start now and sell it. So we're going to start now and sell it. Okay, go. Okay, I guess we're going to auction the first piece right now. Rusty Okie at 35. We're on the timer. If you are new to us, we're going to go 2 minutes. I'll tell you when 1 minute is passed. I'll tell you when a minute 30 is passed. We're going through this real quick because you guys want to go now. Rusty Okie at 35 on the 60 Impala dash emblem. I'm going to start making some notes here. I just thought we'd throw this into the auction a little bit later. That's right, whole numbers only. Just going to throw this in the box and do it a little bit later. You guys are ready to go now. We're on the timer. Rusty Okie at 35. Party time, that's right. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. Those are all fine with me. That information is in the we got the fireworks going because the party has started. Those are all fine. Those payments are all fine with me. If you are new to us, all this information is in the description part of this video. Zach at 36 as we come up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Zach at 36. Yes, it is aluminum. It's all stamped aluminum. Slight curvature to it because of the dash. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. This one's going to get interesting at the end. There was 3 or 4 people that were all over this thing as soon as we held it up. It's going to be a bloodbath at the end, I got a feeling, and we're going to find out in 30 seconds because a minute 30 is gone. It would polish up great. Yeah. If you polish this a little bit, redid this background in black, this thing would look absolutely killer. Zach at 36. We're coming down to the wire. This thing's just about ready to wrap up already because we started this thing off in a rush. But it's about over. Maybe nobody else is going to bid. Maybe Zach's going to get it. Charles at 45 with a couple seconds left to go. Pete at 44. And that does it. Charles at 45. Zach at 55, but he was a little too late. Lots of hearts rolling, but Charles slid that in there at 45. Okay. That was interesting. We'll put Charles' name on that one. Okay. I guess we'll get back on track here. Well, for as on track as this show can get. Let's clarify that a little bit. We'll get back on as close to on track as this operation can get. But that was kind of fun to throw that in there. Bada boom, bada bing. Jack's like, that's fun. Do it again. We're going to do a whole bunch of it here just shortly, Jack. We got a couple things we're going to get to. And then we got a whole box of cool stuff we're going to do that with here in just a little bit. Big Job's thirsty. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's keep this train going down the tracks before it tips over again, which is extremely likely with this operation. Anyway, where are we at? Let's catch story time. Then we're going to talk about the raffle. Then we're going full bore into the auctions. Story time. Lots of cool stuff coming up for story time. Not only did I go steal a bunch of Dad's promos, the cabinet that the scrapbooks were in, the latch was messed up on it. Well, he's got it open. So, Dad has like 3 or 4 scrapbooks like this full of cars. There's cars in here that I think were before my time. There's cars in here that I remember about this much. There's cars in here from our old house. And I say our old house from when I was like little bitty, because we moved from that house in 1979. And there's a bunch of pictures in here from that house. So Rusty Okie found my grandpa's 26 Model T that he used as a project for the Boy Scouts in the 70s. That's cool. That would be kind of neat to get a hold of. So, yeah, just a few seconds too late, Zach, or you'd have had it. So we've got so much cool stuff in here. Like I told you guys, there's a lot of neat stuff coming. But tonight, we're just going to pop this thing open from the front side this time to start on the front page. This pickup, I very, very vaguely remember. I don't remember a lot about it. This was at the old house. And this was probably 1977, 1978. I would have been 3 or 4 years old, so I barely remember this pickup. On this 1962 Chevy C10 short bed fleet side pickup. Originally a 6-cylinder, Dad swapped a V8 small block into it. But like I said, I very, very vaguely remember this pickup. So this is going way back. This is 46, 47 years ago. I was really little. I don't remember. Like I said, I very, very vaguely remember this pickup. I mean, in today's world, I mean, that's a super sharp pickup. Kind of that two-tone teal and white, short bed, fleet side. You know, and, you know, the crazy thing about it, that was a 15-year-old used pickup back then. I had one more shot of it, but not quite as good as the others. But pretty cool piece for story time tonight. Yep, that's about when I would have had that Nyland pickup. That's exactly right. So looking forward to this. I flipped through some of this book last night when I got it out. Like I said, there's a couple more books in there that are literally this thick. So we've got a lot of super cool stuff coming up for the next several months or years for story time. And like I said, with some of this stuff, these were just used cars at that point. So lots of cool stuff coming up. Tons of great comments about it. I appreciate that, guys. There's no way I can catch them all. They were scrolling through there pretty good. You know, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up in here, guys. So I'm excited about it. I saw cool stuff in here that I hadn't thought about for years. It is big. it's just so you guys can put it into perspective. Of how much stuff is in here. The book's 3 inches thick. So that's how much cool stuff it is. Dad says he painted it by dumping paint together from the body shop. So it wasn't the factory teal color. It was a mixture of stuff that got close that he used to paint it. But back then, that's what you did. It was a used pickup, spiffed it up a little bit, used it for a while, and then sold it. So what did I learn to drive in? The first thing I remember driving was just steering around the block in a 69 Chevy pickup. That's the first thing I remember driving. Not sure if I did things other than that. But the first thing I remember steering around the block, just I think on Dad's lap, was the 69 Chevy pickup, and it's in here. So we'll be getting to that as well because there is a lot of cool stuff in here. But that's the first thing I remember driving. Obviously, driving a stick was the old Chevy tow truck that we have right next door. And so, yeah, Jack, we don't have pictures of all of them, but we got a lot of them. A lot of neat stuff. So there is so much cool stuff in here. So many memories for me. Back in the 70s, he was a mechanic. He started at a Pontiac dealership in 1970 and then moved to a Buick-Olds Cadillac dealership in 71, I think. 71 or 72. Was on the line turning wrenches up until 78 or 79. And then took over as service manager and did that up until 90 before he went into the aftermarket parts business. So, yeah, I grew up around a Buick-Olds Cadillac dealership where he was a service manager. So, a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm glad you guys are excited about it. I know I am. And, the 74 Z28 is in there too. The 74 Z28 that I remember when I was a kid, which is why I bought the 74 Z28 that I've got right now. Raffle time. Let's talk about the raffle for a minute, and then let's get, obviously, ready to go in the auctions because you guys are ready to boogie. So who got in this week? Tweedly D, Kevin Brown, Leo and his guys, Alec Blanchett, Randy Ellenberger, and Austin McCoy. That's who is in this week. And we're getting kind of down towards the bottom, but there's still a few things left here in the bonus raffle can. I will need to refill this thing because there's not a lot left in it. There's still a handful of things down in there, though. So let's yank one out and see what we've got. As always, these bonus raffles do not ship by themselves. They will go in with your next shipment, be a raffle prize, auction winning, etc., etc. And we got a little toy car in this one. Oh, a little Fiero. Little Fiero Hot Wheel in the bonus. Let's tuck this thing right back in here. And then let's write somebody's name on this packet. Put it back away. Let's find a name to put on this bonus drawing. All right. I think I got one. Pappy. So let's write Pappy's name on this one. And this will go with your next shipment, be it a raffle winning or an auction winning. And also, guys, it's great if you when you can remind me that you've got a winning in there, a bonus drawing in there, because then I remember to look for it. So we'll mark that one to him. As always, these do not affect you in the main drawing. So right back into the can goes Pappy for the main drawing. Now, this month's raffle. Let's check this stuff out again. Please remember, this is mystery boxes this month. I know what's in them. You know what some of it is. We're sharing some things with you, but we're not sharing everything with you. We're gonna add some more stuff to these things even next week. But we're giving 4 boxes away. We're giving one smaller box away. And we're giving 1 box away that's just a little bit bigger. And then we're going to give away another box that's a little bit bigger. And the first name out of the Big Buick oil can is going to get the biggest box. Now, what's going to be in these things, you won't know. Even though we have shown you a few things, I don't know which boxes they're going in, but we're going to do some more of that right now. And then next week, we're not going to show you. I'm going to throw some more stuff in them this week, wrap it all up, and then we're just going to draw for them next week. But what's going in now? Toy truck. This one is a Buddy L, white, green interior. Toy truck going in a box. Okay. It's all toys tonight. Toy tractor. Slick toys. Going in the box. And one more. Is this a Buddy L? One more little toy truck. Also a Buddy L, an orange Buddy L. Going in a box. Okay. We're going to stuff these things full. I'm going to wrap some more stuff up, fill these boxes up this week, wrap them up, tape them up, and then we're going to draw for them next week. So this is your last week to get in for the raffle boxes. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you is, what do you guys want to do next on the raffle? What are your guys' ideas for the raffle next month? I've got some cool stuff sitting around. And I'm thinking about doing, I've got a killer can. This one's got, the graphics are still very presentable, but it's got a lot of fading to it. Had it had good color, maybe promos. I don't have much extra for promos right now, Bill. So I don't really have much there because I just don't have, a lot of extra promos. So I'm thinking about this can. Zach wants Heather, but then if we do that, then we don't have Heather. Everybody wants to raffle off Heather. I need to find another picture of Heather and raffle her off. But I've got that can I was thinking about. I got a little bit of everything. There's still a few signs laying around. But is there anything in particular you guys want? But I know I don't have any extra promos to do a promo deal. Key tags, we can throw some key tags in. But give me your guys' input on that. Curious to see what you think. It's going to be after the gathering, so maybe a project item or items, something someone can finish. It's almost there. No, Jack, I'm not going to give the Camaro away. That's not going to happen. Valve covers, that's an idea. I do have I've got a couple laying around. I could do some digging and probably come up with a couple more to have a nice valve cover set up. Just make a copy of Heather and sell the copy. So anyway, steering wheels. I do have some steering wheels laying around. I don't know if you guys would be very interested in, a steering wheel with, cool horn ring or something, a grill. We did a grill last time. We did that grill show last month. So probably I'm not opposed to doing another one, but we'll probably wait a while before we do another grill or grill show. Hood ornaments, that's a possibility. So, will there be a live stream on that Sunday after the gathering on the 21st? Yes, we will plan on doing a live that Sunday night. It will probably be just a recap, depending on, because obviously I won't, well, maybe we'll work on it together Saturday night. Of course, that depends on how long we're at the brewery. If we've been at the brewery too long before we start working on it, it may not be a good show, but we will plan on doing a live stream on that Sunday night. Yes. Hubcaps, don't have any Jetfire items, Zach, just the one emblem that I wouldn't sell you. We will be doing some live streaming during the gathering. Absolutely. Yes. Are we going to set certain items for certain months? We could, but a lot of it fluctuates on what I come up with at different times. I just don't like doing the same thing month after month. I like to mix it up a little bit for you guys. So, yes, Rusty Yogi, it could be a very entertaining show, especially with Tractor Mike there helping on it after spending some quality time at the brewery. I do not have any traffic light viewers at this point. I don't think we could ship a kitten. I don't think that would work out too well. Batch of dealer lot items, that maybe is a possibility. So, anyway, but like I said, going to be lots of shorts. Yes, we can definitely do some of that. There are a couple of other YouTubers that are going to be here. I know Grant Tommy with Straight Six Fan is planning on being out, and I think there's another YouTuber coming with him. So there will probably be content being fed to their channels as well. And some of you guys, if you want to put something on your own channel, that's fine. If you guys want to post on your Facebook page, that's fine. You know, tag the Nobody Else's Auto and the Nobody Show pages on them when you do them. Dealer license plate frames, I've got a few laying around, but I really don't have a ton of them. So I don't have enough to where I can have a nice selection of them. But I made some notes on some of that stuff. I'll do a little bit of looking around. We'll see what we can figure out for next week. So, who's ready for some auction time? Auction action. Like I said, I'm planning a little shorter tonight, 10, 12 pieces, but that depends on what you guys want to do. Save it up a little bit for next week. Next week, we will probably not have the magazine. We will probably skip the magazine and just roll with a longer auction because you guys are demanding more auctions. So we'll do probably 30, 35 items next week in conjunction with the raffle. So we'll do the normal episode. We'll give away the mystery boxes. Then we will, roll into the auction. So let's get into some stuff tonight. We'll see what you guys want to do and how long you want to do it. Let me regroup here just a bit. And get stuff ready here. I've got a decent amount right here. If you want more, I've got the stuff I got ready for tonight and some stuff left over from last week. And then there is 3 more boxes and 1 big plastic tote of stuff still in here. So yeah, we can start selling now and maybe be done next week. I don't know, but we do have a nice mixture tonight. Some license plates, some cans, some toys, some caps. So I think you guys are going to like it. I think it's going to be fun. And we'll go ahead and get ready to get rolling. Real quick, we'll run through the rules real quick one more time. Like we talked about, check, money order, PayPal, friends and family, or Western Union is all fine. Non-U.S. bidders will be responsible for shipping as well as getting me paid in U.S. funds. Most of the stuff tonight will all include shipping in the 48 states. I've got a couple more killer toys, but they are, I'm saving a few of those for next week. Oh, yeah. Be ready. So tonight, shipping will be included in the 48 states on all of these pieces. Like we talked about earlier, whole dollar amounts only. We will go 2 minutes. We will describe a piece. I'll hold it up. We'll show it to you. We'll talk about any damage, any deficiencies. We'll talk about that car a little bit. We'll give you dimensions on some of this stuff so you have an idea of what we're talking about. That's fine, Dirty. You can just PayPal to get in the raffle. That's not a problem. The PayPal information is on the page as well. Just like I said, please be sure to note that is whether it's all raffle or whether it's part auction, part raffle, so that when I reference my notes on the auction stuff, then we know what to do. Valve covers. Do you have a set of a GMC V6? Nothing that is separate. I know one set on a truck. I do not have any plaid ones. But I do have, I think, one set of regular ones, but I do not have any plaid ones because those are kind of neat. So we'll go ahead and get rolling. Get a few things organized here. I do keep notes. I keep track of this stuff, so I have something to reference. Perfect. That's great, Dirty. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. So when I was going through this stuff that needed to be shipped. So that's awesome. That will work just great. Let's have a Hudson badge before we get rolling. Just like we did earlier, I will put it on my cell phone right here on the timer. Hit start. We go 2 minutes. I'll tell you when 1 minute has passed, 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. I keep the phone right here on the corner of the computer so I can keep track of it. Watch that timer. Watch the bids. One set of bids right here. One set of bids right here. And there are guys on Facebook that do play along as well. So if you hear me announce a bid that you don't see, it's on the other format probably. So what do we want to start with tonight? I got some different stuff. I'm really curious to see if you guys dig this stuff or not. So let's see. Where should we start? And as always, on the first few items, I will read all bids as I see them, even if it is not the high bidder. That way you guys can get a feel for where things are feeding on your end, because everybody does have a delay. You just don't know what your delay is for sure till we start doing a few things. Zephyr oil stuff, very little. I've got a few Zephyr cans, Joe, but not near as much as I'd like to have because the Zephyr stuff is super cool. So unfortunately, I've got a little bit, but not a lot. Never thought you'd be an auctioneer. Yeah, I leave most of that up to Chris at the auction. So Chris is way too good for me to even think about trying to do it. So, but we're going to go ahead and get rolling. Like I said, I will read all bids as I see them, even if it is not the high bid, so you guys can get a feel where the delays are at. Some people have a 3-second delay. Some people have a 30-second delay, depending on your device. Computer, TV, tablet, smartphone, as well as your internet provider. So I will read all those bids as we go along so you guys can kind of get a feel for where things are at. We're going to get started here. We're going to kick right off with a plate. A little bit different. One of these kind of oddball plates that I don't know a lot about, but absolutely amazing condition, almost 45 years old. And just like I said, was probably used for that 1 year, taken off and put in dry storage off of a bigger truck, a truck APP, a truck app, truck appropriated or appropriation plate from 1980. Check this thing out. Look at the shine on this baby. Look at that. This is a standard size plate, roughly 12 by 6. It is embossed aluminum plate. Super nice deep blue with yellow letters on it. Calm down, Big Job. 4684, 85M appropriate. So I assume this was like for a big truck, I'm guessing. Nice and flat. You can see where it had screws in it, but that was really about it. But the rest of this plate really looks great. Tweedledee starting us off at 10. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling and on the timer and see what happens on the truck plate from 1980. And we're going to do something a little bit different. Hey, there's Mark. Mark's back. Adam at 12. Good looking plate. Kind of a different plate. I don't know much about it, but it's a cool looking piece. We're ticking away. Adam at 12 on the 1980 truck plate. Perfect, Dirty. Thanks. Brian Waycamp at 15. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Waycamp at 15. Just about to that minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Waycamp at 15 on YouTube. Adam at 16. Adam at 16 as we're coming down to the end of this one, getting ready to wrap it up. Zach at 21. Mark at 17. Austin at 20, but I got Zach at 21 with just a few seconds left. Anybody going to slide in here at the end? Big Job at 22, and that did it. Holy cow, Big Job. That was literally like as it was going 158 to 159. Whew. Big Job at 22. I'm not quite sure how he slid that one in, but he got it done, and he hit it dead on perfect. Because another second and a half was too late. And there was a whole bunch of bids coming in there right there at the end. Yeah, I've got a big GMC, like a 62 big truck that's got a V6 in it. Don't know a thing about it, but it's got a V6 in it. Man, that was, whew. I mean, it like 158 was rolling to 159 when that bid came in. Boom, just dead on. But he got her done. That one got interesting, but that's what makes it fun. Now, I want to throw something else at you guys completely different. We've never done anything like this. I bought 2 boxes of this stuff, and I'm going to keep some of this for myself, but there's so many of them in here that I want to share some of this stuff with you. These are old, like 20s and 30s black and white photographs. So I've got 2 lots of them set out here. If you don't like the first lot, we won't do the second one. But as you guys know, I am a huge fan of airplanes. So I had to buy these boxes, and I want to know what you guys think. Some of these are just okay. Some of these are absolutely amazing. These are super early, and this one's kind of a plain one. There's going to be 5 pictures in this group. This first one, clear up in the air, but a really cool old biplane. This picture is about 2 by 4, okay? Like I said, there's going to be 5 pictures in this group. This next one, this is just some guy sitting in his plane. Looks like 1930s. It's a Jenny Curtis JN4. Thanks, Alex. Jenny Curtis JN4. This is, check this one out. This one's also about 4 inches, but it's about 3 inches wide. This other one, about the same size as the last one, about 3 by 4. This dude's standing next to his airplane. This is a cool one. This is also roughly 2 by 4. Check out this picture. That's right, a revolutionary time. That's a great way to put it. These are amazing pictures. And last but not least, but definitely the best, as far as I'm concerned, I kind of saved the biggest one for the last. Check this one out. This one is a larger photograph. Most of these do appear to be originals. This one is 3.5 by 5 3/4. That sounds cool, Dirty. That sounds like a great time. So, we'll see what you guys think. I've got another group of these picked out. If you guys like them, I'll keep sorting through the boxes and pick out what I want and sell the rest of them. But all of these going together on one group. So, is there any interest in this stuff? Is it boring? You guys just want to get back to car stuff? You guys tell me. This is totally up to you. If there's no bids on this stuff, we'll put it away and not worry about it. If you guys like it, we're going to go with it. Okay, there's lots of interest. Okay. Mark at 12, Alex at 25. I guess we'll go ahead and roll. We'll get this on the timer. I'll go ahead and write it up. And we'll see what happens. So we're on the timer. We'll see what happens, see what you guys think. And let's, I'll start looking at what we need to do next. Alex may have just taken care of everybody with that one. Need some junkers? Yeah. There is I did find a really cool picture of an ME262 in this box. Just past the 1 minute mark. Alex may have just knocked this one over and knocked everybody out on this one and took care of it right out of the gate with that deal. Ads. All right, we got 30 seconds left. I stopped just for a second since we've seen some ads. Are we clear on ads or? The two that one is out in the box. I don't have that picture in here. We're all clear. We're back on. 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 25. He must have just taken care of everybody on this one. Just about ready to wrap this one up. And that does it. Alex just came out there shooting, knocked everybody out. But don't worry, we'll have another batch of them here in a little bit later. And we'll keep sorting through the box and see. Some of it isn't this old and isn't near this cool. So, you know, some of it isn't anything worth selling, but there's still some pretty cool stuff in the box. So. All right, let's do a little bit more cast iron. I've got a few pieces of this stuff left, but not much. These didn't get paid for a few months back. So we're going to go ahead and run a set of buggy steps. This is a matched set of buggy steps. I may have one or two more left, but I think this is the last pair of buggy steps that I've got. These are fairly ornate and pretty sharp looking buggy steps. Like I said, these just were ones that didn't get paid for. Justin's here. Travis is on. So let's check these out. This is a match set. Obviously, they mount just slightly different. There will be one for each side. This is all cast into this thing. All this ornamentation, all this texture for your boot is all cast into it. Very ornate. Kind of a T-mount on this thing. Nut Farm at 35. And these are some of the larger ones. Let me give you a few dimensions on this thing. These are about 7 inches tall. And it's got about a 5-inch footprint. So that gives you kind of an idea, but they're pretty cool pieces. We got the Nut Farm at 35. You're getting the pair. Adam at 40 on Facebook on the matched set of buggy steps. Lots of cool things you can do with these. Old school, heavy duty, cast iron. I'm sure they're well over 100 years old. Adam at 40. Shipping is included on these. This is the biggest thing we've got tonight. And since this is the only thing we've got that's kind of big and bulky, I'm just going to throw shipping in with it. Adam at 40. We're live on the timer on this match set of old school 100-plus-year-old buggy steps. Hobbins Hot Rods made it tonight. Adam at 40. Ryan and Amy at 45. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. High bid of 45. Steps for the man cave. There you go. Nut Farm at 45. I had Amy first. Z-Bear at 50. Ryan and Amy at 50. The Nut Farm at 50. Everybody likes 50. We still got some time left, though. Ryan and Amy at 55. And there's the minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. They would look cool on an older 4x4 Jeep. That's true. That's a good point. We're coming out of the wire. Ryan and Amy at 55. Ads. We got ads. Hold up. Several people are saying ads. Ryan and Amy at 70. But we had a bunch of people with ads. So we'll wait till we get it all clear. We'll go back to 30 seconds. We've got a little under that left, but we're going to go back to 30 seconds. And it looks like we are back. So Ryan and Amy at 70. 30 seconds on the timer to wrap this one up. And we're starting now. 30 seconds. Ryan and Amy at 70. I had Adam at 60 over here, but I've got Ryan and Amy at 70 now on YouTube. Coming down to the wire, a little bit of time left on this one since we started with 30 seconds left. Ryan and Amy at 70. And that did it. That 70 did it. Randall the Nut Farm at 75, just a little bit too late. But we had Ryan and Amy at 70. Okay. Going on an 86.4 before. That is actually kind of cool. Yep. Okay. Let's catch another plate. This one, let's do something a little bit different. Let's go out of state and go back east to Pennsylvania from 1964. Great looking plate. This thing is 60 years old and has this kind of shine. Pennsylvania truck. 1964 up to a 1967 on the sticker. Look at the shine on this thing. Pappy at 25. This is a standard size plate, roughly 6x12. Sticker even still looks good. Look at the shine on the blue on that thing. This plate was originally done in all yellow, and then the blue over top of that. Leo at 40. Lots of Pennsylvania still in 64. Rusty Okie at 42. Let's get this thing on the timer and get rolling. I've got Rusty Okie at 42 as my current high bidder on the 1964/67 PA truck plate. Rusty Okie at 42. Adam at 30, Martin at 28, Leo at 40. Lots of bids on this thing right out of the gate. But Rusty Okie at 42 is my high bidder as of right now. Nut Farm at 45. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Coming up on the minute 30 mark, Randall of the Nut Farm at 45. Minute 30 gone, a little under that left to go. Sniper alert. Yep, we're coming down to the wire. It's about done. David W. is here. Just about ready to wind this one down. Nut Farm at 45. Any snipers out there? Few seconds left. Zach at 59. And that did it. Zach slid that 59 in there right at the end. Heck of a shot. Okay, that was cool. Let's see. Oh, let's do something else. We did one of these a couple of weeks ago, and it was a lot of fun. And we'll see what you guys think of doing another one of these. These aren't high dollar, but they're really neat. See if there's a... Oh, this is kind of cool. You guys remember those little tiny comic books? We did one a few weeks ago. You guys want to do another one? And what's cool about this one is we know exactly how old it is. It's got a copyright date, and it also has a gift date. Copyright 1937. Now, what's cool about this, some of the stuff, is this stuff all has its own story. Eugene Boehmer, Christmas, 1939. This particular mini comic, The International Spy, Dr. Doom faces death at dawn. Check this thing out. These are the mini comic books. These are very small, 4.5 inches high, 3.5 inches wide, but they are thick. It's a little over an inch thick. The back picture has this big castle on it. Alec at 5. Alec started us off at 5 on Facebook. For The International Spy, Dr. Doom faces death at dawn. Tweela D at 10. Rusty Okie at 10. Rusty Okie at 11. Inside, there's a lot of illustrations in these things. Ooh, what's that, airplane? Oh, yeah. Check that out. Airplane. So these are just neat. I've got several of these. I always thought these were cool. Okay, several bids on this thing. And it looks like Z-Bear at 25 is high bid. Okay, we're ready to go. On the timer, Z-Bear at 25 on The International Spy, Dr. Doom faces death at dawn. From 1937, given as a Christmas gift in 1939. We're ticking away. We've got Z-Bear at 25. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. And there's our minute 30 mark. A minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Z-Bear at 25. Just about ready to wind this one down. We're coming down to the end with a few seconds left to go. Z-Bear at 25. Justin at 26. And that did it. Justin at 26. Slid that one in right there at the end. Barely knocked Z-Bear out. That's right, Weston. We've got toys coming up. The next one is a toy, and then I've got another cool toy here in a little bit. We did a pair of these last week. I figured we'd do another pair of them. I've got a couple handfuls of them. Some of them I am going to keep, though. But I know you guys liked the ones last week, so I thought we'd do another pair of these old toy plastic 44 jalopies. Old dirt track cars. A red and a yellow one with the opposite matching chassis. These do kind of have something to resemble an engine in them. They do have numbers cast onto them. These are numbers 49. They're both 49s. These are just basic, thin, cheap, old 40s or 40s Ford style jalopies. I'm guessing these are probably 60s era. That's when a lot of these cars would have been used as jalopies, as dirt cars. Travis at 13. These are 4 3/8 long by 1 3/4 inches wide. So you're getting another set of them, just like we did last week. Pair in different colors. And Travis is starting us off at 13. We had Alan at 10, but I already had Travis at 13. Let's get these things on the timer and let's go. And coming up on the 1 minute mark, Travis at 13. They're not busted up. They're not chipped up. They're just nothing fancy. They're just cool little toys. Almost to that minute 30 mark. Minute 30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Travis at 13. Coming down to the end. Big job at 18. Austin at 20. And that does it. Austin at 20. All right. Oh, we got something else cool coming up. We've been doing some of these. This is probably one of the neatest ones that we've done. And one of the earliest. We've been having a lot of fun with these things. And it's something a little bit different, a little bit off the wall. Let's have a Hudson badge while we think about this. But this, from what I found, and I did just a tiny, tiny bit of research, this is late 40s, a late 40s era beer can. Look at the top of this thing. This is literally the old school, Michael Gogola's here, Church Key beer can for Schmidt's City Club beer from St. Paul. Travis at 12. This has double-sided, does have some discoloration on it, but does look pretty good. Obviously a steel can. We can see the seam here. Very well preserved, considering this is like some of the other metal cans we've done still had a pop top type on them. This thing is literally old school Church Key. Nut Farm at 20. So this is neat. And like I said, from what I could see, it was late 40s. Trademark American Can Company, keg lined. The can was keg lined with patent numbers on it. Check that out, guys. So this is a cool piece. This is probably one of the earliest out of the handful of beer cans we've been doing lately. This is probably one of the earliest. Great condition. 4 3/4 by 2 5/8. 4 3/4, 2 5/8. I believe it said this was a 12-ounce can somewhere. Yes, 12 ounces. The Jacob Schmidt Brewing Company, St. Paul, Minnesota, on the other side. So let's get this thing on the timer. We've got the Nut Farm at 20. We are live on the super cool, super old, probably this thing's probably 75 years old and still looks this good. Kevin, 23. Balin Wire, 25. Oh, and by the way, guys, Kenny at 26. I do have one really cool toy coming up. I didn't save them all for next week. I'm going to throw one in yet tonight. So that's coming up here in just a little bit. Kenny at 26. As we're working our way towards that 1 minute mark. No, it's not cast. It's 10. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go on the Schmidt's City Club beer can. Austin says late 1930s is what he's seeing. So maybe this is 80-some years old. Maybe close to 90 years old. Pretty amazing condition for that. And only at $27 with a Nut Farm. So 75 to 80-year-old can in this condition. We're only at $27. Kevin at 30 as we hit the minute 30 mark. A minute 30 is gone. Kevin at 30. We're coming down to the end, getting ready to wind this one down. Let's see what's going to happen. Nut Farm at 32. Somebody's got to jump in swinging on something like this, I would think. Leo at 31. I got Randall at 32. We're coming down to the end. Too late. It's selling. Kevin at 36. Zach at 39, and that did it. Zach at 39 right there at the end. Kevin had a 42, and there was too late. Nut Farm had a 40, and there it was too late. So Zach was in there at the 200 mark at 39. That's a cool piece. So all right, how about time for another license plate? This one also looks amazing considering it's over 60 years old. And what I thought was kind of cool about it is not the exact number, but it's a 1961 plate, and the number is 461. 61, 61. I don't know, kind of dumb. Just thought it was kind of cool. Obviously in great condition. Pratt County, 3-digit, 461. These were kind of an off-white with brown letters in 61. This thing might be new. No, they re-drilled it. It's been re-drilled. Back of it looks great. I don't know what they had this on. Adam started us off at 20 on it. These two holes here on the outside of the main holes have been added. Pappy at 25. So you can see it better back here. These two outside holes are not original. But I just thought it was kind of funky that it said 461. It said 61, 61, and 61. The Centennial 1961. A lot of cool stuff happening there. Leo at 30. Good looking plate. Let's get this thing on the timer and go. Adam at 32. Yeah, that's right. Somebody should pay 61 for it. That's a good point. It's dirty. We just want to roll with that 61 thing all the way through. Well, we're halfway there with Adam at 32, just past the halfway point on that. So, as we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Adam at 32. And there is the minute 30 mark. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Where's that $61 bid at to complete the 61s? We've got Adam at 32 as of right now, as we're coming down to the wire on this one. Just about ready to wrap it up. Few seconds left. Adam at 32. Nick Squires at 36. And that did it. Big Job had a 33 in there right at the 2 minute mark too, but Nick at 36 covered it. Good looking piece there, that's for sure. All right, let's slide a grease cap in here. This one's a little bit different. It's not aluminum, it's actually steel. I'm assuming this is off of a truck, but it's kind of a cool piece for our Ford fans. Check this one out. This is a steel grease cap, externally threaded. So I think this was off of a bigger truck. Has, you can see the hex around the outside edge of this. Inside, not much in there. You can see where it is stamped all the way through. I think what would be really cool would be repaint the Ford in blue. And I think this would be a great piece. It is 2.5 across in diameter. It is 1 3/4 deep. The Ford is nice and clear and stamped in here really well. So you could repaint that. You could do a lot of cool things with it to make that Ford stand out. I left it in its natural state to let somebody, whoever buys it, do what they want with it without having to clean something else up to make it their own. So anyway, like I said, truck, probably 30s, maybe 40s era. And let's go ahead and get this one on the timer. And there we go. Rusty Okie at 20 is where we're starting. Kenny at 22. We're ticking away. We've got Kenny at 22. I don't remember the numbers on the little bottles of tester either, but that medium blue, I think, would really pop in that thing. Leo, 23. And we've got ads. All right, we'll shut her down here. Well, we wait for the ads. We've got Leo at 23. And are we good to go, looks like? Yep, we're back. Okay. Back on the timer. Leo at 23 on the Ford grease cap. EJ at 25. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Kenny at 26. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. And there it is. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Kenny at 26 on the Ford grease cap. Just about ready to wind this one down. Rusty Okie at 31. And that does it. Rusty Okie at 31. Okay, I promised you guys a good toy tonight. So we're going to go ahead and slide that one in right now. We'll see what you guys think of this. This is a really early remote control car. No idea if it works. Never tried it, but it is really cool. It is Japanese tin, 50s era, great condition. Check this thing out, guys. Let me know what you think. Check this car out. Look at the shine on this thing. Has a siren on top, so it was supposed to be like maybe a fire chief's car. Resembles a Cadillac, I'd say, on the front. Kind of generic side type trim. Does have original tires and wheels. Does have a steering mechanism up here in the front. So that's why the wheels are cocked, because it does steer. This is one of those that has somewhat of an interior in it. Just basically a painted piece of tin, but that's about all it is. But it does look, it does give the illusion of seats and a dash. The car itself is about 7.5 inches long. To give you an idea, it's about 7.5. But obviously in good condition, never played with hard. Now this is a wired remote control car. Here's your remote. Here's the car. It is on a wire. It is cabled. Now, this had buttons on it, on here, and it had some sort of a control here, probably for steering or something, but it is missing that knob. Fortunately, inside of this thing, it is not nasty or corroded. This just has a little clasp on it. It's clipped shut. And just a cool, neat little piece. So there it is. Like I said, I'm saying it's mid to late 50s maybe. Still has the lens or some sort of a lens up in here. I don't know if it's been changed or not. It looks kind of funky. Both original headlights. Randall had the police version of it, so this must be the fire chief version of it. On this, like I said, late 50s era remote control. Kind of remote control. You couldn't get that far away from it. Untested. I've never tried it. I don't know if it works, but it is here. It is intact. And we've got Travis at 23 is the only bid on this thing. Yeah, the paint is incredible. Condition-wise, it's great. And I've got Travis at 23 as my high bidder at this point. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Let's see what happens. I would imagine that I don't think the 23 is going to do it. But no, battery's not included. Great looking piece. Let's see what you guys think and who's going to end up with this thing. Sam at 25. Leo at 33. Sam at 35. I don't think there was a name on it. Well, it does say something. It just says made in Japan because this is a Japanese tin with this symbol on it right here. Sam at 35. So that's all it says. It doesn't actually have a brand name. Just it is a toy tin toy Japanese. And there's 1 minute. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go. Sam at 35. Inching our way toward that minute 30 mark. Still looks like a pretty good deal for $35 in this condition. I didn't paint this thing. I just polished it and waxed it. And there's a minute 30. A minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. I've done no touch up on this. This is exactly as it came other than polished up. Could be a sniper item. We're going to find out here in just a little bit. Sam at 35. We're coming down to the wire. We'll see if anybody's going to snipe this thing or not. Zach, 37. Leo, 39. Leo at 39. Few seconds left to go. Zach at 45, right at the 200 mark. Zach at 45 slid that in there right at the end. And there was no time left at that point, Zach. You couldn't have cut that one any closer. Good looking piece. All right. Leo's having a tough night tonight. Leo keeps getting sniped right at the end. So anyway, Adam had a 40 hanging in there, just popped up a little bit late. So, all right. Let's catch another license plate. Then we'll see what we want to do. I can't remember what year you said you wanted, Alex. I've got a stack of these. I found a 17, so I grabbed it. So let's do a super early 107-year-old plate. Hudson badge. There we go. Let's give you both of them, Hudson and an Auburn. Let's catch this 107-year-old license plate from 1917. Check this thing out. Not perfect, but not bad for 107 years old. So let's see what you guys think of this thing. This is a little different size. These were kind of some of the odd-sized ones. It is 15. Pappy started us off at 17. So 15 by 5 7/8. So 15 by 5 7/8. This was originally kind of that off green. And black letters against the off green. I believe this is all original. There's a little bit of silver paint that ended up on it here for some reason. Not really sure how that happened. It was bent up a little bit here. There is some paint loss from where it was bent on the top, but not very serious. Still fairly flat, and overall, still a pretty decent looking plate. So, is that 40, Leo? Is you starting at 40? I'd add them at 20 here. But I think, is that a $40 bid, Leo? Is that where your butt 40 means? as soon as we get some clarity on that, we'll kick this thing off so we know where we're starting at. Yes, okay, perfect. Leo at 40 as we hit the timer. Leo at 40 on the 1917 plate. Need a 71 plate. Well, I'm sure we can dig some of those out. Leo at 40, and we are on the timer. And a 72, okay. Keep my eyes peeled for some of those. I know I've got some laying around. That could be big job. Keep you under control. So, super cool piece. Leo at 40. We're ticking away. 41. I do have some 41s, Dean, because I almost grabbed a 41 tonight, and then I decided not to. But I do have some 41s coming up here fairly soon. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go. Leo at 40. No, somebody wrote 1917 on the back of this one. I go reference my big collection if I need to know for sure, but I've probably got some 28s, yeah. A minute 30 is gone. 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 40. This one's ticking away and not a lot of action for a 107-year-old plate. Leo at 40. And that does it. Leo got one at 40. See you later, Mark. Glad you made it on tonight for a while. Leo got that one snagged. All right. You guys want to do a couple more, or you want to wrap it up for the night and save some stuff for next week? We got plenty of stuff for next week anyway, but you want to slide a couple of more in, or do we want to just go ahead and wrap it up? I can. Okay, more. All right, let's do a couple more things. I've got a can. I've got those other airplane pictures. You guys want to see the other airplane pictures? I got a pair of license plates here. I got another grease cap. Got some emblems without digging into the rest of the pile over there. I don't have any more toys here. I'd have to go start digging over in the other boxes. So we'll do a couple more. Like I said, I'm not going to run a full night. Okay, definitely want to see the can. Let's do the can and these airplane pictures. And then if we want to do one more, we'll do that pair of license plates. Everybody wants more. Holy cow. Sam's got to jump off. Glad you were here tonight, Sam. All right, batch number 2 on the airplane pictures. Okay, 5 pictures in here as well. These are all smaller pictures, kind of similar. 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 on this guy right here. Pretty proud of his airplane. On the back, this one says E.L. Schrock, Pittsburgh, PA. Two 3/4 by 4 1/2 on this one, taking off down the runway. Four 1/4 by 2 1/2 on this killer shot of this biplane. Well, that's because we're saving up for next week, Z-Bear. We're going to do 30, 35 pieces next week. So that's the only reason we're ending a little bit early tonight is we're going to build up for next week. So you don't want to miss next week for sure. I don't know what this biplane is, but it's super unique. This picture is 2 5/8 by about 4 1/2, and check this biplane out. And one more, and this thing is really killer. This one is another plane that is 4 1/2 by 2 5/8 on this plane, fixed wing aircraft. So that's what we've got. All 5 of these. Let me see if I can get them held up here where everybody can get a good look at them. All 5 of these coming as one group deal. Let's get it on the timer. We've got Shopcat at 20. Leo at 10, Adam at 5, Shopcat at 20. So I've got 20. Leo at 22. You're getting all 5 of these. They do appear to be originals. Old school, black and white, probably 30s era pictures. Leo at 22 on the whole handful. Shopcat, 25. Sam at 25. Had Shopcat first. Travis at 34. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Travis at 34. Shopcat at 37. The one with the pilot just had that stamping. A minute 30. A minute 30 gone. A minute 30 is gone. 30 seconds left to go. This is the only one that has anything on the back of them. And that is the one with the pilot. Shopcat at 37. We're ticking away on this one, working our way towards the end. And that does it. Shopcat at 37. All right, let's get these put back together so I don't lose any of them. And put Shopcat's name on those. All right, everybody wanted a can, so we'll do a can for sure. This is a quart. Hudson badge. This is a metal quart. We did one of these several months ago. I came up with another one. Great looking can with amazing colors. Although it is a metal quart, it is not oil. It is antifreeze, the Prestone antifreeze with exclusive magnetic film to prevent rust, extra protection all winter, prevents clogging, will not foam, protects rubber hoses. On this killer Prestone antifreeze quart. Amazing red, silver, white, and blue colors on it. The Ever Ready Corporation, just like your batteries. This is a standard size quart. It is metal. Your seam is right here where the two colors break. It is new. I will drain it if I have to ship it. If it's going to be picked up or go on April 20th, I will not drain it. Bottom side still intact. I will put two small holes in the bottom to drain it if I have to. The original guaranteed one-shot all-winter antifreeze and anti-rust. A high boiling point type, non-evaporative ethylene glycol-based antifreeze contains a special chemical inhibitor to protect against rust, corrosion, damage, and foaming. All the information on the back. These are a great-looking can. They have great colors on them. And it is a standard size metal quart. Apparently they were. It doesn't say specifically. It says National Carbon Company, Division of Union Carbide Corporation. That's what it says here on the backside, Union Carbide. So they were probably both owned by Union Carbide. So, good-looking quart. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. I've got Leo at 10 is the only bid. I figured we'd have a couple bids on this thing right out of the gate because these are great-looking cans. Dennis at 25. EJ at 30. Adam at 12 on Facebook, but I've got EJ at 30 on YouTube. Dennis at 35. Just past the 1 minute mark. Dennis at 35. And there it is. 1:30's gone. 30 seconds left to go. Dennis at 35. That might be quicker, Big Job. I'm not sure. Coming out of the wire, getting ready to wrap this one up. We got a little bit of time left, but not much. We'll see if there's any snipers out there. I've got Dennis at 35. Kevin at 37. And that does it. Kevin at 37. Do the set of plates. Okay, we can do the set of plates. We'll do this set of plates, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Because these are a matched pair, which is kind of cool. They're a matched pair, and they're old, which is always a win. Leo's at 30. He don't even care. It's an old set of match plates. Leo is starting us off at 30. And I don't think you have anything to worry about, Leo, because these things are cool. This is a match set of 1940. So 84 years old. Match set, still together. Sick County 64-972. So these do have some wear, some scuffs, some scratches, but they're completely original. They've been together for 84 years, and here they are today, ready to add to somebody's collection. Kenny at 32. The backside of these look both basically about the same. Got some ads. We're not on the timer yet, so we're still okay there. So the back's basically just a little bit dirty, but all original. This one has an extra hole in it. Actually, it has an extra hole right here, but the rest of these holes, even though there's a lot of them, they look factory because they match. However, there are some small holes around the perimeter up here where these were like nailed on a wall or something, and they both have it right in up here. So there are some extra small holes where these were like nailed to a wall. See you later, Nut Farm. Okay, we've got a slug of bids on these things at this point. Let's see where we're at. Leo at 50 is my high bidder on the match set, still together after 84 years, 1940 Kansas plates, original paint, and we got more ads. So let's see if we get these ads cleared out. Then we're going to hit the timer. Frank's dad was here in 1940 at Fort Riley. That's kind of cool. All right, let's get this thing on the timer and get it rolling. We've got Leo at 50. You're getting the pair, the match set. We're going to keep them together after 84 years. They're going to go into your collection to be displayed still together, still hanging out together after all this time in this condition, really, which is cool. Hands getting tired. Pappy at 52. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Pappy at 52. And there's the minute 30 mark. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Pappy at 52. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Pappy at 52. Leo 53 right at the last second. That was like 2-0-0 when that came in. Leo at 53. You did not have one more second on that one, Leo. I guess that makes up for a few of the ones you got sniped on. But there was 0 time left on that. Woof. I mean, you had less than 1 second, and those were going to go to Pappy. It was that close. So man, that's the way it happens sometimes. I guess Leo's been clobbered on a bunch of them here the last couple of weeks. So Pappy kind of got smoked on that one, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes. But anyway, another great time tonight. Had a lot of fun on the auction with all of you guys. And like I said, next week we'll hit it a little harder. So like I said, we backed off a little bit this week and last week, and we will make up for some of that next week. Everybody needs a Hudson badge after that. So anyway, let's go ahead and spend a little bit of time with our super cool magazine, the Automobile Trade Journal from September of 1913. We've been spending a lot of quality time with this one. I don't know how many pages we'll look at tonight. We'll get in there and do 10 or 15 pages yet tonight because we're going to be coming up on time to wrap up here fairly shortly. So we definitely want to get into some of this, but we're not going to spend a ton of time on it. And like I said, there is just so much cool stuff in here. In fact, we may not even do that because we've got some actual news coming up as I look through this that we are absolutely going to want to spend a little bit of time with. Not a lot of pictures in this stuff, but there is some really neat stuff that we've been seeing a lot of ads in here. Oh, wow. This is cool. We don't even know if we'll get this far. Oh, wow. There's some killer stuff coming up. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. Perfect, Austin. Appreciate it. I will get it all marked, paid, and get it in your box. First off, we'll start with cord bars, cramp cord bars, an ad for Parsons White Brass and Cramp Special Bearing Bronze. Now, this is back. Obviously, these cars were Babbitt beaters, so they sniped by Leo support group. The William Cramp & Sons Ship and Engine Building Company, Philadelphia, PA. Check this ad out. This is actually, it's like stock, like for bearings and things like that. Back when you had to really overhaul these things, and actually had a lot of them. You had to make bearings for them and things like that. So. But the next bit we're going to get into has a lot of information in it. There's going to be a lot of reading I'm going to read to you. Obviously, we can see on this next page, it had actually talking about the Automobile Trade Journal itself right here. So we're going to study a little bit of this real quick. That's right, Bill, back when it was done with pride. That's a great way to put it. The Automobile Trade Journal, established 1896. This magazine had been around for 17 years at this point. 1896. Entered as second-class mail at the post office of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Published monthly by the Chilton Company, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Subscriptions. 1 year, $1. Foreign subscriptions, $2. Single copies, 25 cents. So it breaks all that information down right here. Now, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Some article right here, and we're going to get into some of this because there is some super interesting stuff. Cool stuff coming up here. Glad you're here, Pappy Night. Glad you had fun. Truck usefulness much greater than merely displacing the horse. It was not so long ago that a motor-driven truck was an object of great curiosity. Today we find that it is being adapted by the conservative businessman for the bulk of his hauling. In this service, it is displacing horses and wagons, but the truck with its self-contained power plant, its prime mover of compactness and of lightweight beyond even the fondest expectations of experts of 15 years ago, is destined to go into many other fields than that of simply displacing the horse. So, in emergencies, this power plant has saved the day by operating electric lights, printing presses, pumps, threshing machines, plows, or has even generated current for medical and surgical purposes. The truck today is capable of hauling not only its own load, but loads piled on a train of wagons. It has made possible the quick transporting of heavy, bulky machinery, and is now invading what has been supposed to be an exclusive field, the railroad. So, obviously, in today's world, we know that trucks are beyond critical to the nation and the success and the moving forward of the nation. If we didn't have trucks supplying our stores, delivering cars, moving things around, everybody would be at a standstill. In 1913, they were realizing how critical that was. Just like it just said, capable of hauling not only its own load, but loads piled on a train of wagons. Obviously, we've all seen plenty of 18-wheelers rolling down the highway, getting those loads to the next destination, whether they're going to the store, whether they're going to the parts store, whether they're going to the car dealership, whether they're going to the grocery store. Moving those goods down the highway, getting them to where you need them is so critical. And that's what's so cool about going back 111 years and reading this stuff. We know now it's extremely important part of our economy, but they're just realizing this in 1913. So thought that was pretty cool. Something else kind of interesting that we hear a little bit about here and there, but something that never has taken off a lot. They do have their own little collectible market, but I don't know a lot about them. Cycle cars. Warning to cycle car makers. Opportunity for American makers in foreign markets. Their email, there's multiple ones depending on what you need, Shopcat. And there is some in the description part of this video. Just depends on what you need. Because obviously if you got questions about cars or parts, something, the best way is to call me instead of email me. But there is some email addresses in there. I don't check them all every day. So sometimes it's not the best way to contact me, but calling me is by far the best. In the cycle car, certain promoters doubtless see another get-rich-quick scheme. There may be many forthcoming to manufacture these little fellas. In the near future, we shall probably have a large number of very cheap small cars on the market. Sounds interesting. Sounds a lot like some of the cars we see today. Cheap, light, very economy-minded, small engines, lightweight, excessive fuel economy. However, in the cheapness lies the danger. Our prediction that the field for the cycle car in this country must be in competition with the motorcycle and sidecar only is being fulfilled by the prices which are already announced on the American cars of this type, these ranging in the neighborhood of $300 to $375. The cycle car must essentially be a cheap construction, but there are two ways in which this can be accomplished. One by using inferior material, and the other by so designing that complicated parts are eliminated. The latter is, of course, the proper method to pursue, but has its pitfalls. In dropping tried features of the larger cars, which it is believed can be dispensed with without detriment to the small cycle car, there is apt to result, especially as the cost must be kept at a minimum, constructions which are, to say the least, not entirely safe. A cheap construction, particularly in connection with the steering gear when not embodying high-grade materials, is likely to break, causing serious accidents. Yeah, economy miner today, but it's $40K instead of $300. You're right, Dirty, completely. It is possible to construct a serviceable and efficient small vehicle which will carry two people at a sufficient speed for all ordinary purposes for $300. But we wish to warn those entering cycle car manufacturing that the greatest caution should be observed to see that these little vehicles are so designed and built that they will not be flimsy and their components part company on the road at important times and places. This warning has particular reference to the steering gear, as it is at this point that there seems to be a tendency for unsound design. So, kind of an interesting there again, just like Dirty's comment, economy minded but $40K. They're talking about making sure they can build one for $300, but still make them safe. So, kind of interesting. But there again, that's why we're looking back 111 years and studying this and gaining knowledge from it and comparing it to today. Something else that very common in today's world, but in 1913, kind of a big deal. Trucks as holiday sightseeing or passenger cars. Kind of sounds like a bus to me. Rather lucrative returns in addition to the income produced by the ordinary truck in its daily routine of business may be had by the small truck user or agent by using the truck on holidays as a sightseeing or picnic car. Trucks are often fitted with an extra passenger or sightseeing body and used to carry excursionists, sightseers, or picnic parties to groves, beaches, or other places of interest. The earning capacity of trucks can in this way be greatly increased, and being a piece of machinery, it can be operated over time, if properly cared for, without injury to it. as would result in a horse if the same extra service was demanded. So, there again, we see all kinds of buses and people transporters, trolleys, buses, minibuses, big buses. And there again, in 1913, this was a new concept. Hey, this could do this as well. And that's when it was coming about. That's what's so cool about this, looking back over 100 years and comparing that time to today. The Maxwell Motor Company has closed its Pittsburgh branch, known as the Keystone Automobile Company. It is possible that a number of local capitalists may take it over and continue it under the management of the present manager, Ward Gavitt. Not sure if that happened, but that's what was happening in 1913. The Gas Engine Handbook, written by E.W. Roberts, M.E., and published by the Gas Engine Publishing Company of 244 East 7th Street in Cincinnati, Ohio, is now in its 7th edition and is fully rewritten and up to date. This book treats on the gas engine as adapted for all classes of work and especially gotten up for reference purposes. The price is $2. There again, this is a big deal. The new book, up to date, ready to go. Obviously, in today's world, we Google it and it pops up. This was a pretty big deal that a new edition of the Gas Engine Handbook had been completed. We'll wrap up this page and then we'll probably be ready to kind of start winding things down because there's a lot of cool stuff in here that we want to look at. And then there's just so much, everything is just cool. That's all there is to it. On the next page, some more news from the industry. Here's what we're going to get into. So not really a lot of pictures. Just a couple down here. We'll share that picture when we get to it. But some industry news here that we definitely want to catch. New drive for Packard. For nearly a year, the engineers of the Packard Motor Car Company have been searching for a noiseless gear. Finally, F.F. Beal, the factory manager, suggested the worm bevel. It took expert makers 3 weeks to make the first set. These were tested in an experimental car with such success that the company immediately began to seek a way to manufacture them. After the gear blank has been rough turned and the tooth portion fitted to size, it is sent to a gear cutting department where the work cannot be viewed. After it comes out, it is ready for the hardening and final test. It is claimed that this gear gives continuous tooth contact and with good workmanship will give a silent drive. Now, in today's world, we don't even think about gear noise. Not hardly at all. But in 1913, that was probably it. Those axles were probably howling pretty good going down the highway. New Paris traffic regulations. The Prefect of Police of Paris has issued new traffic regulations which will go into effect on October 15th. These require that all vehicles, without exceptions, must carry red rear lights. Obviously, we're all well familiar with taillights and brake lights. Paris made them mandatory October 15th of 1913. In case you were curious, in case it ever comes up on a trivia question. You never know. Maybe one of you guys will end up on Jeopardy one of these days. Who knows? Drivers of automobiles must make use of their signaling device only for warning coachmen, motorists, cyclists, and pedestrians. The use of sirens and of multi-tone horns is prohibited. Cyclists are forbidden to use a horn, as are the drivers of motor carriers. So, kind of interesting. New York taxi cab ordinance upheld. The protesting hotels and taxi cab companies of New York City received another disappointment on August 20th when Supreme Court Justice Seabury decided that the Gaynor taxi cab ordinance is constitutional. However, the so-called taxi trust will not let the matter stand at that, but says that it will carry it into appellate division court in which a permanent injunction to stay the ordinance will be sought. Obviously, we don't know what that ordinance is. That's all it gave us. But there again, the more things stay the same, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Similar type problems 111 years ago. Walpole receivership action postponed when the petition asking for a co-receiver for the affairs of the Walpole Tire and Rubber Company of Walpole, Massachusetts, was presented to the federal court in Boston on August 16th. The court adjourned the case for a week and admonished the creditors to endeavor to come up with a decision which would satisfy as large a number of those concerned as possible. So the Walpole Tire and Rubber Company, obviously, they did not pull out of receivership because I've never heard of them, and I doubt any of you guys have ever heard of them. So apparently they were probably bought out and rolled into another company. But if anybody's heard of the Walpole Tire and Rubber Company, that's what happened to them in 1913. The Velie Motor Car Company, VELIE, 1924 Euclid Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, will hereafter handle the entire line of Velie pleasure cars and trucks. J. Wolf is president, M.R. Wolf secretary and treasurer, and L.L. Law sales manager for the new concern, which succeeds R.M. Allen, now state factory representative. So big management shakeup at the Velie Motor Car Company. And last but not least, at the bottom of this page, views of the Ward Leonard Electric Company's plant in Bronxville, New York. This is the home of the Ward Leonard Electric Lighting and Starting Company equipment for automobiles and also for generator and motor controlling apparatus, battery controlling apparatus, rheostats, circuit breakers, resistance units, theater dimmers, etc. So the Ward Leonard Electric Company. So this is kind of cool, and I'll hold this up for a second. It's going to be kind of tough to see. I know it's a small picture. One of the first manufacturers for electric lights, generators, switches, controls in the automotive industry. So kind of a neat deal there too. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and cut off right there because when we get into the next stuff, I mean, there are notes about personnel changes in these big companies, new branches of dealerships, so many cool things, and about all these weird vehicles that we've never heard of. So excited about that. We're going to go ahead and call that and wrap this one up. It's going to be a couple weeks before we get back to this because next week we're going to be doing extended auctions. But hey, we still got Kevin's handy dandy business card here. Slide that thing right back in there to save our spot in the September 1913 Automobile Trade Journal. And we will be back to it in a few weeks. So, I know we've been having a lot of fun with this. So much cool stuff in it, and a lot more cool stuff yet to come. We'll give you a Hudson badge as we get ready to wind this thing down. So, Buckness here. What's coming up this week? We'll get another Pioneer Village video up at some point in time this week. We'll definitely get some more new inventory up. We will do Toy Tuesday live. We will probably do that here in the shop. I am thinking maybe a week from this Tuesday. Maybe we'll do Toy Tuesday from the cockpit. We'll see how that works. Next Sunday, we will try to do a live. We'll see what the weather looks like. We'll see if the weather cooperates as to whether or not we may be able to squeeze that live yard walk around in next Sunday morning, if that works well for you guys. And like we talked about, I'll keep playing with the shorts. Lots of good feedback on the shorts. You guys seem to enjoy them. Hudson badge. So we'll keep working on the shorts. I'll keep trying to figure them out. I'll keep trying to think up some cool things to throw on them. That's some news to discuss. Not in particular. We covered the gathering of the Nobodies. There's some exciting news coming out about Pittsburgh State University, but that will probably be coming out this week. We'll probably talk about that next week. I've got a Zoom meeting with them tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's the 25th. Yeah, I've got a Zoom meeting with Pitt State tomorrow. So there will be some stuff coming out on Pitt State. We're waiting on a couple of final nails on a couple projects there. So that information should be coming out next week. But I think that was about it. So looking forward to a good week. I got an auction coming up this week. I got to get some stuff done at the yard. I'm hoping the weather will cooperate. Weather has not been that good here the last few days. It hasn't been terrible, but it's been windy and kind of cold and crappy. So hopefully things will start improving. Next Sunday, it's looking overcast, but in the upper 60s. So that might be a good way to do it. I don't know how PayPal works from Canada, because I know it's completely different. So I don't even know if it'll go through, Shopcat. Try it and see. But I don't have any idea if it will actually go through, because it's altogether different because of the way they charge fees and everything. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So I don't know if friends and family will go through from Canada if they charge still an exchange rate fee. I don't have any clue on that. I know on regular PayPal it's a mess, but you might try friends and family and see if that will go, Shopcat. If not, let me know, and we'll see what we can figure out. So, with that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and wind this one down. We'll wrap up episode number 204. Crazy you guys keep coming back. Crazy you guys want to be part of this deal. And no problem. Big job. We're just glad you made it tonight. Next week, we will get some more cool stuff loaded up. We'll have an extended auction next week. We've got some cool toys, some other cool things. I've been kind of sitting back as you guys have been asking about an extended auction night. So we will shoot for that next week. We will see some of you at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time Tuesday evening for some Toy Tuesday. And we'll get some more content up this week. We'll definitely get you at least one from Pioneer Village, maybe two. We'll got to get some new inventory up because stuff has been coming in too quick. And I've got to get caught back up on some of that. And we will keep working on the shorts. So, kind of a new thing for me, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. 1 month, 4 weeks to the gathering of the Nobodies on April 20th. Can't wait to meet some of you guys then. Definitely looking forward. It's going to be a great time. And for those of you that can't make it, we will be feeding you some live content that day, as well as shooting some other content, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So please, if you have not yet, email Pete if you're going to be here. Let us know what you've got going so we can make sure we plan accordingly for the amount of people that are going to be here and have everything in order and make that a great weekend for all involved. And even for those of you that can't make it, at least we'll be able to have a good group and be able to get some good videos up for you. So please email Pete if you're interested. Have a great week, everybody. Hope to see some of you Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. If not, we sure hope to see you all right back here next Sunday night, same bat channel, same bat time, for more Sunday Night Live chat with the extended auction next week. So have a great week, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight, and we will see you next Sunday at 7.